Hey there, it's Grant with Roo Bike, and I'm very excited today. I'm down in the desert of southern Utah. I'm about to go out and do some hot weather testing in the brand new Roo Bike jersey. We are so close to being able to release these. I cannot wait. If you haven't already, make sure you're signed up to be one of our beta testers. Ooh, these things are sweet. All right, at any rate, let's get into this. Today, we are going to be talking about what exactly is structured training. How does it differ from casual riding? And is it right for you? All of this came about after I spent the last 3 months preparing to do my very first endurance epic mountain bike. I don't know whether it was a race, whether it was an event. To be honest, I barely survived, so I don't know what I would call it. But at any rate, I spent the last 3 months transitioning from what I would now call a very casual mountain biker to a more structured, to someone who follows a more structured training program. And I wanted to go over those differences, the benefits, the cost. Is it right for you? What exactly does that look like in today's episode? So let's get into it without further ado. What exactly is structured training? That's super easy. It's basically an outline, it's a plan, it's a system that allows you to, well, it tells you what to do, when to do it, and all you have to do is show up, right? How does that differ from casual riding? That's simple. I define casual riding as you do what you want, with whom you want, where you want, when you feel like it. Structured training allows you to move past feeling like doing something versus not feeling like doing something and doing it anyway. And to me, that's the big key here. What does structured training allow you to do? What's the biggest benefit of it? Improvement. And that improvement only comes through consistently doing the darn thing, right? I was recently watching a Trainer Road podcast where they had on Santa Cruz pro rider Tobin Ortenblad. Sorry if I said the name wrong, but the dude's a great guy. Not only does he ride with Keegan Swenson, who I'm a big fan of, but the guy in and of himself is a champion. And they asked him, what do you think the key to improvement is, you know, in the context of training and that sort of thing? His simple answer was consistency. Doing a little bit over and over and over again versus going out there that once or twice a week and trying to smash these huge rides or really slam down the power, whatever it is you normally do. That was definitely me in the past. I would just go out once or twice a week and ride as hard as I could, and then be like, why are my legs so sore? I can't go ride the next day. My legs are killing me. My back's killing me. What the heck's going on? How do these people do it? Don't try to smash it out of the park. Just do a little bit at a time and get better and better each and every day. All right, so we have gone over what it is, why do it, what are the benefits. We'll circle back because maybe I missed a couple of those, but let's get into the costs. The costs of casual riding, it's simple, right? You got some buddies, you got a bike, you got a phone, you get a text message, hey, meet me here and here, you want to go for a ride. That's all there is to it. And if you feel like it, boom, you do it. Compare that with structured training. There's a whole gamut here. It goes from $0 up to a whole bunch of dollars. For example, for $0, you could totally make your own. All it is an outline, it's a plan that says, I'm going to do this on this particular date, and this is what it consists of, right? You can write that out in crayon yourself on a back of a napkin. You don't need anything fancy to do that. You could tape a little sticky note to your handlebars. I do that all the time. No cost there. Moving on from like you just inventing a plan, you can go to places like Trainer Road, which has monthly subscription plans. They tell you completely what to do. That's great, definitely an option. You could also go to places like Training Peaks. They have anywhere from generic pre-canned plans where you pay, you know, $4.95 for a month. They go up from there. You could also find yourself a personal cycling coach, which is what I chose to do. Why I chose to go down this route in the first place was I had signed up to do an epic ride. It was, I don't know, 78-ish miles, about 10,500 feet of climbing. And I have never, before that, never ridden that far, never ridden that much elevation in a single day, and I knew I needed help. This was super important to me. I needed some hand holding, which is exactly what I went out and found. I found a coach who was familiar with the race, who had raced in the race themselves and had ended up on the podium. What better than that? They were a pro cyclist who had become a cycling coach. That was the perfect thing I was after. They were willing to hold my hand and walk me through this to teach me what the heck, a VO2 max was versus a sweet spot versus an endurance ride. They guided me to let's go get you some let's go get you some power meters. I need heart rate. I need this, I need this, I need this. All of these things that meant nothing to me before all of a sudden meant something, and I could apply those to each and every single one of my rides. So I went that route because I had a huge goal I was undertaking. I had 3 months to prepare for it. I went from riding 25 miles a week very casually, that's just the time I had at that particular point, to riding well over 100 plus miles a week, just a ridiculous amount of hours. It was a huge benefit to me to have a personal cycling coach, not only to show me everything of how to do it, but also for that personal accountability, right? It's really hard to halfway something, to just do your bare minimum, if you have to talk to someone after each and every workout, how you did, why you did this, what happened here, how come you're not hitting your numbers, how can we do things better? I didn't want to say, well, I was tired and I didn't want to do it. So that was an extra unknown bonus at the time. It really brought out the best in me, and I'm very thankful and grateful for it. If anyone's interested, shoot me an email or leave a comment below and I'll get in touch with you. If you want my cycling coach's info, I'll make sure you get it. All right. Who do I think structured training is for? To be honest, I think it's for everyone. If we compare just casually riding with structured training, since structured training can look however you want it to look, right? You could only have a couple of workouts during the week, or maybe only even 2 workouts during the week and 1 or 2 fun rides. It doesn't matter. You don't lose that funness just because it's a structured ride. You get to say what structured ride is. Casually riding, in my experience and in my opinion, will only get you so far, and then for me, boredom would always hit throughout the year, towards the end of the summer. And then my riding would kind of tail off, and then all of a sudden I'd be like, oh, it's almost winter, it's almost fall, I better hurry and get back on the bike, and then there would be an uptick, and then winter would come and I would lose everything. Will structured training turn me into a robot where I have no fun on rides anymore because all I'm after is my workout? Well, the short answer is that depends. If your personality is such that fun is not part of the equation, then you're probably going to turn into a robot, right? You can have as much fun or as little fun as you want to. It's completely up to you. It has nothing to do with structured training. You could totally be a bummer on a casual ride just as much as you could be totally a bummer in structured training. Last question, before we wrap this up, do you need any special gear in order to make this happen? And the honest answer is kind of, right? You need something to measure how much work and effort you're putting into this so that you can see, basically so you can get some feedback and see and chart your improvement, right? For example, the things that I use, it's kind of a combination of things. You've got a heart rate monitor that gives you some data. You've got power meter, which, I've chose the power meter pedals because I could put them on any sort of a bike. And you have something called perceived exertion, how hard it feels like you're working. Those 3 things together, heart rate monitor, that's not free. The power meter pedals, or power meter in general, that's not free. The perceived exertion, that's free, but to be honest, you really need the other 2 objective pieces for the perceived exertion to actually mean anything, because that's all over the darn place. But those are the 3 pieces that I use to give myself feedback for whatever sort of workout is in store for that day. In conclusion, I've definitely rambled way more than I wanted to on this, but the point is, structured training is amazing. It has not only helped me accomplish my goal, which I'm actually shocked I was able to do now that I've done it. I went in completely blindly ignorant, not knowing how hard that event was, and the mere fact that I finished it and survived it, and I want to keep doing it and progressing, that just tells you what the real value of structured training is, right? I am not only in love with cycling, but improving at cycling. So whether it's on the road, whether it's on the mountain, whether it's on an e-bike, you name it, it doesn't matter. It's so much more fun now because it's all about how I feel. I can now ride day after day after day, and not be dead tired. And to me, that's a success, right? I'm in my mid-40s. I'm very happy to be able to feel as good as I do on the bike. And that's all I can ask for, right? So I highly recommend it. I want to wrap there, but by the way, again, Roo jerseys are coming. If you want to sign up to be a tester, there's a link below. Grant, Roo bike. Thanks. Bye.